Okay. Let's see, what was I doing? Stone walls are still in progress. That's fine. Hey, Super Puppy, how's it going? Why is wood here? Oh, you dropped wood by my place? That is fair. I would not be offended by delivery of wood. It's not as valuable as stone, but still appreciated. I put it to immediate good use. Or at the very least, if I didn't, you can't prove otherwise. Can I? Yes. I win. Slightly sick, Sir Ruppy. I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. Caught a bug, or I'm trying to think. I mean, it's winter. It is easy to be sick during the winter. Okay. Now the question comes down to is, do I do mundane things, or do I go back in the swamp to get more iron? Just delete all the deaths I had from the swamp last time. It's safe, I promise. The swamp was not particularly kind. The swamp did indeed choose violence, which is why we will come back with more violence. So that's how we solve problems, right? I'm gonna boat that float so hard. Okay, I have my food of preference. Time for decisions. Is now. Now what's it? I think it was home. I think home was the portal. Okay, I will wait for you before I dismantle the portal then. Oh, I'm gonna go back and repair my stuff. It seems like a good idea. Oh, wrong way. I've definitely thought about it. I think that's a good idea. I think I'll do it. So you can just leave either way. Still, the direction the door is only, like, that's really the only way you'll really want to leave. But, was that? Yeah. Alright. Our decision's underway. Alright, so this tomb was all plundered. So, this way is the next one. Skellyman below. It's just me picking up stones when you know we're gonna pick a bunch of iron, but stones are too valuable for me to just leave laying around like this. I have a stone wallet. Crave stones. This is where I need to get a bunch of people playing this game, but they're in the early phases. Oh, for fuck's sake. No. Ah. Okay. I need wood before I can do that. Okay. Try to not die in the process. That will be plenty. It got broken. One-star Draugr behind us. Yep. Whatever lets us get off the ground is good by me. Then we can do portal, and I do find it funny how it's like the swamp is like very treacherous and building portals is dangerous unless you just build them on top of tombs. In that case, you're pretty well just gonna get away scot-free with it. Okay, you're gonna go get a key. Actually, why don't we skip the night? mean, it doesn't really matter too much when we're in the crypts. What's that? No. Also a little bit. Right, let's see. I think that's probably better. Okay, just get my rested bonus back. Unless you did want to sleep. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. What should I be adjusting? No. That way. I think I adjusted the wrong way. Hey Aztec, how's it going? Okay, back through the portal. And I will await your key. Iron brooch. It would have been smart to like put away items while I was there. I did not. They're so friendly. Now let's take out the pickaxe and then try to mine. Hey Juan, how's it going? So I just assumed that Aztec Air missed a comma there. I think what that says is don't, and then it's comma, give up. It's way too much effort not giving up. Much easier to give up. It's the best plan. Okay. Through the fetid, awful waters. Yeah, but it's never worth it. Is any of it ever really worth it? Well, I'm glad you made it home safely. You have plans for the weekend? This is just a dead end. Oof, ouch. See, that's, one is home from trucking and one is being mean. One has chosen violence. Violence picked you first. I mean, that's fair. So, Juan, when you are exploring a crypt or any sort of like cave in a vehicle, do you have a direction you always turn? Like, do you have a wall that you always keep along? Okay. Because something that I picked up, I will always turn left. I will always keep along the left wall. And I've done this for a very long time. And it's something I picked up when I was like still pretty young, like back when I was in like high school. And I was wondering if it was something I picked up for that you did, or if this was actually my own thing. I do very much hate playing the game of, basically, this is how it's going to be, and then it is not that. You are stuck waiting. Fortunately, I imagine that is probably very common in your job. Okay. Okay. Probably the same one. It's not like we killed it. No, it ran away. It ran away, and I was not about to call it back. Ah, yes. Spending the entire morning just being like, ah, yes, I should be able to get a good start on it early in the morning. And then just not how it's gonna go, not how it's gonna go, not how it's gonna go. That does suck. So I feel like as a mechanic, when we're in the same sort of situations, in some way it's worse, because if we're stuck because, okay, we didn't get the parts, or customer didn't show up, or whatever it is a case of like there is so much grinding to a halt. On the flip side, the its worst scenario is actually pretty rare, and the most likely scenario is actually the okay, can we can use that time to do something else. Is it actually something useful? Maybe not, but like we can do something else. Oh, hello, Abomination. You are a problem. And you have destroyed the stairs. And I cannot build stairs because I am over encumbered, cannot pick up the stairs. There. You have its complete and undivided attention. And we certainly have it losing a lot of health. The game is Valheim. It is a crafting survival game. So probably one of the games that in the last little while has really managed to like basically the crafting survival game genre was really kind of oversaturated. It was one of the few games that managed to stand out in the last few years. It was definitely not my favorite game of all time, but if you looked at my Steam, you could be forgiven for thinking otherwise, because I have spent a lot of time playing this game. Oh, I should look at the new brooch that I can theoretically make. What is this? Iron brooch. Increases armor and a quick burst of health regeneration. I don't know how that works. I actually don't know how brooches work at all. Do you have Heart of the Forest? How does it work? Oh wait, hold on, sorry, adrenaline. I understand. It's gonna, yep. Okay, never mind. I feel like I understand it as well as I'm going to, and trying to explain it more to me will probably not actually help at the moment. Nope, I'd like to not put my food there, I'd like to put other stuff there. Snakebite, you are correct. Air brakes do lock up when you lose air. However, wait, hold on. Yeah. If you blew an airline horn, because you blew an air hose and now the trailers have no brakes. Also, you used the wrong brakes. You should give the trailers some brakes. They need to rest too. Okay. I think I see where this is going. I would like to not. Okay, so let's get my rested bonus back. That's one thing I do find interesting is that air brakes are pretty much all today designed to, if they fail, they are going to fail into basically locking the brakes. Automotive brakes are entirely different, and they will not fail into locking up. They will just fail into not working. So if you lose hydraulic pressure, they will fail to work. And I find it kind of funny that we did not engineer civilian brakes that way. Okay, what do you figure? Pack up the portal and head to the next one north? Alright. I can actually do the wooden stairs. Okay, I'm gonna stop by the fire geyser out here and see if I can't get myself a Surtling trophy. Okay, stamina is down low. Where are you? Oh. I believe you. Okay. I'm gonna come back to the portal just in case the swamp wants to choose violence when you come back. So, okay, next, that makes me curious. If you lose, like, when you lose a brake line, does that usually result in you losing all of the brakes to, like in this case, like all of your brakes to the trailer? Or does it most often result in you losing the brakes to a wheel? Or a axle, probably more likely, but... Actually, no, I guess that would probably actually be separate side to side. Alright, you little buggers. Let's fight. Get back here, little bugger. Nope, still no Sterling trophy incoming. Apparently these are actually kind of a good place to build a base around, because the fire is one of the few fires that does not go out in the swamp. Okay, let's go back to the portal. Ooh. Okay. Do you still have your key with? Excellent. Glad someone's ready. Glad someone comes prepared. Blob. Is that? Okay, so swimming is not worth it. So, you answered a lot of things, but you didn't actually answer the question. Question I had was, is when you have a failure, is it usually affect all the brakes, or does it usually only affect a portion of the brakes? Like, is it most common for if you've lost brakes to the trailer, you've lost all the brakes to the trailer, or you've lost brakes to like a wheel or an axle? Did you? Where? Well. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to drop the stuff off. Except for I've got myself turned around. Where am I going? Well, so you answered me that you lost all the brakes because it was that hand, but did you answer me which is more common? Is the most common failure to be at the glad hand and for you to lose brakes? But well, of course it depends on where you lose brakes, but which basically where are the failures more common? Okay, so glad hand is the most common. Okay. I do find it a little interesting that basically they have not found a way to put like a redundancy. Normally, if you're, mind you, I guess what it comes down to is you're basically losing trailer brakes more commonly, but you're not losing all of your brakes because the truck's still fine. So I guess as far as they're concerned, this is acceptable. Yeah, sure we can. Because I'm getting attacked. Well, in theory, I'm getting attacked. I don't know if anyone's going to manage to make it through and actually spawn here. There's a foul smell from the swamp. So far, nothing is actually managing to spawn. Oh, they are there, but they're fighting the creatures in the black forest, and not me. I think I managed to swim their way over here. Okay, they've managed to make their way over to my walls, where they can't do anything, so I'm running them out to the Black Forest again. Alright, if they want to fight me, they gotta come fight me here. If I just hide behind the tree here, they'll have to come over here and actually fight me. I appreciate it. The attack is still ongoing, but... On my boars? Or your... Yeah, my boars are good. Fine. Oh, which we should take a boar over to you sometime. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I took around, look around. So I was pretty confident that the boars were fine, because I can see them easily from the center of the base, but I appreciate you checking out the threat. So it is required in cars that that you have to have two completely disconnected brake systems, which is why hand brakes, emergency brakes, whatever you want to call them, parking brake, are a completely separate mechanical system from the hydraulic brake. In recent years, the e-brakes have been going electronic, and I hate it. There are two things I do not want to be electric in my car. One is the emergency brake, and the other is the door handles. I want to be able to have some method of trying to stop my car, and I want to have a method of getting out of my car that does not rely on having electrical power. Everything else can go electric, I don't care. But those are kind of my, no. These do not get to be electric. I'm very set on these being something I actually get to maintain control over. I know I'm just being old-fashioned, but I think Where are you? I'm not showing up on the map. Sneak away on me. I feel so betrayed. And I am loaded up full of material already. carry more stuff. So back to camp for me. Well, especially if you look at like the Teslas, there's quite a few which the batteries have started on fire. You know what you don't have when your battery starts on fire? Electricity. Do you only need to be able to get out of the car? Electricity, because they're electronic door handles. So now you have a burning battery, which is a very hot, very fast fire, that you're trapped in because you don't have electricity. And I'm like, no, no thanks. That sounds like a terrible plan. That sounds like a terrible day. I would just like that to not be a potential. So I think, if I am correct, there's something like 180 people have burned to death in their Teslas in the last few years due to the basically being trapped in. They could not get out of their car. Okay, I'm going to set myself on my throne. And then I'm going to take a bathroom break and fill my iced tea. I will be right back. I'm muted. So anything I said was not said to the channel. Do you want to build some staircases? Hey, Father Mick, how's it going? Oh, sorry. I thought you were done building stairs. Workbench is back up. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Adventure awaits. At some point I'd love to run a D&D campaign, but the adventurers have to be stupid. Not the players, but just everyone has to play a low intelligence character. Like, you can have high intelligence for the purpose of being a wizard or whatever, but you have to be incredibly stupid. And not in like the... Like, basically, you have to roleplay your character being stupid. You're allowed to be smart. You're allowed to know all the tropes of, wait a minute, this is definitely a trap. What do you... Alright, he's dead. Shep, the amount of times that you have said, I am not a wise man, I'm pretty sure that at least one of your characters has said so as well. Always right before you... What are you... Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back and make my own Draugr now. Okay, screw you. Stupid blob. Alright, Elite, let's do this. Good going to bed, but I'll stop in and say have a good rest of your stream. Thank you, Father Mick. I hope you have a fantastic night. I hope you sleep well. I cannot help you. If you, yeah. Okay. Yep. Nope, don't go in the other portal. treasure, which I have. Too much treasure in that one anymore, but it's fine. Let's take those and see if I can upgrade my armor. I can. There. Let's go here. Rest up here. Dry up a bit. That's not where my iced tea is. Yep, 100 kilometers is about 60 miles per hour. Specifically, 100 kilometers an hour is 62 miles per hour. And for me, that conversion's always been a pretty easy one. It basically, if you just remember 60, it's easy to convert in either direction. Because 60 miles is about 100 kilometers. 160 kilometers is about 100 miles. And that usually means that whichever you want to basically use as your 100 to kind of percent it out, you can do it by using the 60. So it's either 60 or 160, whichever is more convenient to play with. Oh. I've come across that before. I don't remember if there's anything special about it. Okay. Because you can build that same sort of iron gate. Yes, you are correct. Well, yeah. So 100 and 120 kilometers per hour is pretty close to 80 miles per hour. I think because it's 100 kilometers per hour is 62 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour should be, or I guess 120 kilometers an hour would be 75? Where's the elite? Dude, you were wrong. I mean, every mile is 1.6 kilometers. So, if you are doing 10 miles per hour, you are doing 16 kilometers per hour. If you are doing 100 miles, you're doing 160 kilometers. It scales up evenly. It doesn't do so. Fahrenheit to Celsius is weird because 0 is different in both of those scales. Here, that's not the case because 0 miles per hour and 0 kilometers per hour are the exact same speed. You're just not moving at all. So the scale is different, but they're basically linear to each other. There's no weird math. There's no weird cross. The ooze gets used in places, but I don't remember what for though. Okay. That is way too much stuff. Let's put some of that stuff back. I'm headed back now because I just filled up on stuff. There are people in Alberta who would like to leave Canada. I don't think that'll ever actually get anywhere. For the same reason, there has been a group in Quebec that has wanted to leave Canada for longer than I have existed, and it has never got anywhere. I don't think Alberta actually has like, the drive to actually leave Canada is not, there's not enough people behind it, and there's not enough, um, like, actual support where they could reasonably actually, like, basically, if they were trying to leave Canada, they would be in for a really rough deal. Unless, like, if the U.S. were to go, yep, we will take Alberta, they would do better for that because they would have trading partners that, well, they basically build trade state to state. Hey, Rock, how's it going? Yes, indeed, the face camera is up. I do have a face again. Now I just need to get like one of those ring lights so that I can stream even when I don't have a full basically when I can stream without having the overhead lights on. Sometimes I like the dark, but I'd still like to have enough light to light up my face. Felt like a long week. It was not a long week, but it felt like one. But I've been working longer hours than I used to, so it's not particularly surprising that my weeks are feeling longer these days, but I won't complain though. I mean, actually that's a lie. I'll complain a lot. That's just who I am. But work is not bad. I am enjoying work, and more work hours has been stressful, but I don't mind it. So it turns out I do actually kind of enjoy my job for the most part. There's downsides. Not the biggest fan of being the person to deal with customers. I liked it when customers were someone else's problem. I'm pretty sure my boss called me ugly today. Because I've been referring myself as a secretary, and he goes, nope, that won't do. He's like, if I were to hire a secretary, I'd hire one that was more my type. My boss, basically I said that, because I've been referring to myself as a secretary. He basically went, nope, if I was going to hire a secretary, I'd hire one that was more my type. Oh yeah, it definitely does. I feel like if like I want to say young, but I'm really young, but like just if a good-looking woman were to walk in there and be like, I'd like to get a job as a secretary. The only reason Murray would probably say no is because his wife would object. I am pretty sure that is how that would work. She's not there very often. She does all the bookkeeping. She does basically makes the keeps the place working on the paper side of it. So she's very active in the business, but she's not at the actual shop a lot. I mean, it is definitely that is very much his sense of humor. I most certainly do not take it personally or seriously. He is 70. I don't know if he's 73 or 74 right now. But he certainly comes from a different era of of mechanics than are currently out there. That said, of the different basically different mechanics, different shop owners I have come across the years, I feel like he would actually be basically. I would rather see people mechanics work under someone like him than a lot of the other people, because there's some people who are very nice on the surface, but are really, really awful to basically females in the trade, just because they can. I've talked to a lot of techs who are very nice and polite when there's women in their shop, or like even when they're like working when they're there to do a job. But if you hear them talk when there's no women around, they very much have the attitude basically being like, the trades are too hard and women have no place here. It's really the mentality of, it's a mistake to have women in a shop. I was actually a shop foreman at the shop I went through my apprenticeship. Just very much had the attitude of women aren't strong enough to do it. And it was, I did not like that sort of attitude at all. I just very much had the attitude of, if you can do the job, you can do the job. I don't care who you are. And I've come across enough women who've proven that they are tough enough to handle the field, that I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, hey, you can't do this if you're... However, I have talked to a lot of women who have expressed interest in the field, and I've always given them that warning of, you have an unfair uphill fight. If you're not ready to take that uphill fight, then basically don't put yourself through the effort of basically don't put yourself through this like all the hard work of it, and then not get the reward because you just weren't willing to stick it out. So basically, if you really love it and you want to do it, go for it. If you're like, it's neat, but I don't want to deal with the bullshit, then unless you can find a shop that doesn't have the bullshit, this isn't for you. It's not worth it. The bullshit is massively bullshit. But yeah, my boss has been kind of insulated from the like, and he's not like, he's not maliciously rude, but he's like, he's from the era of mechanics where there was like chicks in bikinis on like the calendars were like chicks in bikinis and all, and those calendars are still in the like the walls of the office, and like they're still around. And like, if it was my shop, those would be coming off the wall the very same day. I would not be leaving them up. I don't. It's always just rubbed me the wrong way. But he's run his own shop for 30 years, so as far as he's concerned, that's just the way it's always been. This tomb is a confusing one. You've been getting 3 unskippable ads instead of 2. Is YouTube starting to get greedy? I I kind of hate unskippable ads. I'm trying to remember who. There's one of the. I want to say it's one of the Northern European countries, one of the Nordic countries. They're planning on passing a law that basically all ads have to be skippable. They're making unskippable ads illegal. I hope that goes through. Like I would not be at all upset if they made full screen ads illegal, and basically like, now you can do partial ad, like you can do like banners and you can do ads around, but you can't take the entire screen up for ads. I mean, 2 unskippable ads is bad. The fact that 3 is worse. And because when did they go to 2 unskippable ads? Because it's not even that long ago. Yeah, no, the move to 3 unskippable ads seems greedy to me. And like the worst part is like as a content creator, they're trying their best to take away our power to actually set ads. Like I could set it up so that there was no ads on this channel. But if I want ads on this channel, they really want it done their way. They don't want me to, because I used to set it to like manual control, but YouTube really doesn't want that. Yeah. And that's the thing of, I feel like we're on the slide where YouTube is going to become less and less profitable. But until if someone were to set up essentially YouTube, but without ads, which would be money loss, but if someone were basically set up YouTube without ads, everyone would be moving over to them really, really quickly. Like basically viewers would be trying to get over there as much as possible. But it is a case of someone's got to take that massive investment. And obviously the long-term payout is to then put ads on the system, because that's what every website seems to be hoping for. Is we go out there, we make a product, people start to flock to us, and then we put ads up. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing of Rumble's in the right place, and I'm still curious to see whether it can essentially eclipse, or basically sort of like really hit. Why is there just scrap iron in the swamp just laying here on the ground? Why is it raining iron? But yeah, the market is right for something like Rumble to actually see massive success. Personally, I would really like it seeing us come to a system where basically it's like, if we can just be a little less greedy, then basically if we're a little less greedy, we can have good things. It's like, I don't mind ads on YouTube, but they're becoming too much. And unfortunately, with them becoming too much, it is a case of people are going to start using ad blockers, or basically some people are going to go to YouTube Premium, which honestly isn't actually that bad of a deal. Like, YouTube Premium is actually, like, in my opinion, not bad. The biggest problem being is paying for YouTube when people are just very used to not paying for YouTube. But the ads are basically either get people to just stop, or it's going to well, I guess, you know, in the long run, people are going to start looking for alternatives, and eventually they'll move along. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I do think I would rather have a like I hate the whole we got to extract maximum profit out of a thing. That is definitely one thing it's like my boss has that old school business mentality where it's okay to just make money. You don't need to make as much money you can every year. Like the shop I got my apprenticeship at, they were pushing hard for every year's got to be bigger than the last year. The numbers have to, like, it's the bean counters, the accountants who are looking at the numbers going, this is how much you have to make this year. Not a case of, well, what's the business actually like? Like, so eventually it started being a case of basically squeeze the customers a bit harder to get more money out of them, because that's the way we need to do it. We need to get more profit out of them. Meanwhile, my current boss, we were humming and hawing over our shop, right? And so he called up one of the other big shops in the area and basically went, "What's your shop rate?" And they were 15 bucks higher than us, which we thought, like, and in the past we've been matched to them, but they're 15 bucks higher to us. Basically, we are over 50 bucks cheaper than the dealerships. And the shop that's $15 higher than us, not only are they $15 higher than us, but they've also increased their shop supplies. So they're effectively getting an extra 10 bucks an hour out of the shop supplies. So functionally, they're 25 bucks an hour higher than us. And my boss like looks at that and goes, "Well, we could do a big jump up." And he hums and haws over it and decides, we'll go up $4. $4 an hour. So our shop rate has gone up by $4. So we are quite. Wait, is this? Are we done this? Okay. Well, I appreciate you watching ads for us. Why is it raining iron here? I keep finding iron just on the ground around this tomb. What is happening? I don't know. It's bizarre. Because I would assume that the iron, like the tomb below, doesn't actually exist. I assume it portals you to a different place. So I don't know if that's actually how that works. But yeah, but at the same time, like if there's a creature, like if there's an abomination slamming the ground inside the tomb, you don't get hit by it ever or even notice any of it inside the tomb. Okay, rip up the portal or leave it here? We don't really have anything specific to do in here. We could explore more. Actually, I'm going to go head back and look at making some more iron armor. I have torso iron. I mean, it's up to you. It's going to be slower and so on, but yep. There's always a trade-off. But yeah, no. It's very much the I appreciate the people who watch ads because those do make us money, but also I will never be salty at anyone who decides to basically watch us with an ad blocker on. I definitely do not think it's unreasonable to not want to watch a ton of ads. See, and that's the whole thing of like my boss isn't even doing this he's not trying to lower our price compared to the larger shop so that more people will come to us because we're incredibly busy. We don't need more customers. In fact, we have to kind of decide how we are turning, like what customers we're going to turn away. My boss is going, nah, let's do we'll charge $4 more an hour. Mostly because he looks at the business and goes, well, we have to charge as much to make sure that we stay in a place where we're making a healthy profit and the business gets to keep growing. He could charge more. He could probably charge more than the big shop because we're very much a specialty shop. Like our customers, if we are $10 more than our competitor, our customers are still going to go to us because we have good customer service and we will work on their car, which a lot of people won't. We've got a really good reputation in the industry here. So like it's the thing of my boss is that old school mentality where it's like we're gonna do it this way because that's the right way to do it, not because just making the business choice of, well, how do we basically we need to get more customers through our door so we'll keep our price low. It's like, no, we could go way higher and still have all these customers coming through the door. It just comes down to what's the right thing to charge. How much do we charge before we go, no, we're being greedy. And I do appreciate that. Most of the time I appreciate it. Sometimes I'm like, no, just crank up the shop rate and pay me more. Because I would appreciate being paid more. But, no, there's a limit to how much you can charge. It is best to not. Basically, I dislike the shops who just see their customers as a source of income. Your goal should be to provide good customer service. Sure. We can maneuver pigs. With a boat and a harpoon. Do you have a bridge to the starting island? Oh. It's a bridge to the rocks adjacent to the starting island. Yeah, close enough. I feel like a boat will actually work fine. Although wait, the boat's not close by. Do you have a boat? That's fair. I don't know what you're asking me, like... It's not information that I... Yep, 80 bronze nails. I do agree, you need to have good customer service, otherwise your shop, honestly, it's, well, no, you are correct. Your shop may fail. Because I'm aware of a few shops that don't have good customer service, and they're still around. They're still, they're still making it somehow. I have no idea how. Like, they just have atrocious customer service, and for some reason, people still give them their money. I would rather throw my money into a pit and light it on fire than give them my money, but other people feel differently. They're allowed to. But for the most part, if you have bad customer service, the expected result would be to fail as a business. So it is important to have good customer service. And it was also one of the things where I like, if I'm not giving good customer service, I hate my job. I don't enjoy giving crappy service. Like, I actively dislike it. If I am giving poor service, then I basically am failing at my job, and this does actually mean something to me. It's actually one of the things I like about being a mechanic is people come to me with problems and I fix them. I enjoy being able to fix people's problems. Unfortunately, some days I sit there and I'm like, the real problem here is that you are making poor choices and I can't fix those for you. Because sometimes we have customers where I'm like, you seem to think that expensive cars are reliable cars, and this is incredibly incorrect. Expensive cars are just expensive to maintain and fix, and are not any less prone to breaking down than cheap cars, and in some cases are kind of more prone to breaking down. But so I definitely had a customer which was, they were very convinced that basically their Porsche shouldn't be breaking because they paid a lot of money for the Porsche, and therefore it should be reliable. And like, unfortunately, Porsche's idea of what reliability is and your idea of what reliability is are incredibly different. And as far as Porsche is concerned, you should just pay up. In fact, Porsche would like you to go to them, and they're just going to charge you more for the exact same stuff that we do. That's, yeah, the Porsche sports cars are actually pretty good for the most part. They're expensive to maintain, but like, they're actually pretty solidly reliable. Porsche's SUVs have been catastrophically unreliable. Lots of engine issues, transmission issues. The problem is that they're an Audi, and Audis are not particularly reliable. Well, I mean, some people have been really good with their luck with their Audis. Some Audis are just really, really solid. But for the most part, Audi is not where I would go looking for reliability. Come on, no, 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 no. I'm gonna get myself killed like this. trying to hunt the Surtlings. I'm getting hunted by an abomination at the same time. Is there? I mean, I wouldn't ask anyone to move into this mess. Because it's a hell of a mess. Will do. Thank you. Killed a... I don't know if that was a 1-star or 2-star certainly, but killed it and still no trophy. I have no idea what the chances Sterling trophies are. Because I want to build the trinket you can get for it. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember. So, not every European car is just a straight up money pit, but yeah, for the most part. Like, and this is, I will be very open and honest with my customers. There are times where the customers are like, is this car like reliable? And I'm like, I'm going to be very real with you here. I drive a Toyota because I want a reliable car. So for me, if you want a reliable European car, the car that I see as sort of the most reliable, the ones I work on, is actually Mercedes. But it depends a lot on specifically what type of car. Like, a Mercedes has a lot of really good, reliable SUVs. BMW has quite a few good, reliable cars. The X3s are actually pretty solid. Not so much anywhere else. But stuff like Jaguar and Land Rover are incredibly unreliable, but that's not actually a European problem. The unreliable part of them is the fact that they're essentially Fords. There are days where I'm amazed at how unreliable Fords manage to be, considering that they are also incredibly capable of being very reliable. Oh, I'm running around without pants on. That's probably not ideal. Probably explain why I was getting hit so hard. My first car was a 1991 Honda Accord. That car was pretty much bulletproof. That car gave me very little grief, and I had it for a very long time and a lot of miles. I think I got it with like 200 and it was just over 200,000, I think. And I sold the car with well over 400,000. And I didn't sell it because it had become unreliable. I sold it because it didn't have AC, and I wanted a car with AC in the Okanagan. And at that point I had a second car already, so I decided to sell the car that did have AC. There's times I wish I'd held on to that car, because that car was just like absolutely bulletproof. It was a fantastic car. I remember I paid $5 grand for that car, which was a lot of money back at that time. And man, that car was just solid. That car was good. So did you build a boat? Excellent. Then we will begin. Do you want one bore? Actually, no, I guess you are getting one bore. Because getting 2 bores would be a bit difficult. Okay. Yes, that is something thing of companies that insist on innovation are doing so all pretty much universally at the cost of reliability. You cannot be innovative without risking reliability. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. As it turns out, when you try doing things a new way, you got to find out all the weak points of the new way the hard way. See, that's the thing of like so many people I know have owned F-150s, and I've always like seen them as a good, reliable vehicle. And then yet at the same time, I have also seen so many people, like a lot of these people have had issues with their F-150s, and I'm like, are they reliable or are they not? I just can't tell. Okay, can you come into my... No. Okay, whatever, I'll... No. It's the only possible solution. Get on it. Okay, I guess I need to actually go grab my harpoon. Do this without. Yeah. So I realize this may not work the way I was hoping, because my stamina is slowly dwindling this entire time. Okay. So, if you can get me back to your place. So, definitely the Mercedes vans. Like, and that's one of the things of out here, people really see Mercedes as a luxury brand. It's like out in Europe, Mercedes does everything. Mercedes is not a luxury brand. It's just like basically, in a lot of ways, Mercedes is kind of like the Ford of Europe. I feel like that's. I've never thought of it that way, and it's honestly more true than I've considered before. I think he's still attached. Yep. Poor little lad's doing his best. Say, hopefully no one from PETA is watching, because the animal cruelty here would probably get to them. Yeah, no, if I were to buy a full-size truck, I would probably get an F-150 over everything else. Well, like, honestly, if I was to get a truck and it wasn't an F-150, it would be an F-250. Somewhere where there's a gate so I can walk it through a gate. So I can't walk it up onto the dock. Unfortunately, if I lose my stamina, if I lose too much stamina, he will probably try to run back home. Let's see if you can just drop down next to the weeds here. Okay. Yeah, kind of open up part of your... Probably. Okay, I have 26 stamina left. Okay, so now I have a 1-star boar. So, now the next step is to get a tamed boar in here. Well, I'll tame a boar and get it in here. Do boars still spawn near your base? Where do boars spawn? And I think he will never recover health. But when he reproduces, then you can just slaughter him and... Yeah. Yeah, Rocket. So, like, in North America, Mercedes are considered a wealthy, basically a luxury vehicle, a vehicle for luxury or for wealthy people. But in Europe, not so much. Like, that's most of our customers who aren't either pretending to be very wealthy or just very wealthy. They're Europeans. They came out here and they were like, I want a trusted brand. And they went out and they bought a Mercedes. And that's just sort of the thing of where it's like, yeah, like in their head they just go, this is a reliable brand. Where people who grew up here go, oh, that's a luxury brand. Oh, did it? Okay. I don't think they used to. That must be new. I could also be wrong, but... Okay. Any boars? Might honestly be easier to just go grab another one from my pen. What do you think? Yeah. Saves you the time of having to tame it as well. Because I did not see any boars out this way. Either way, I have not seen a boar. Okay. So I'm gonna try to harpoon it and see if... Was that? I'm going to try not to kill it, but I don't think you're gonna be able to lure it into your house. Because you've tried that, right? And had poor luck with it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll come back, my mighty lad. There. Okay. He is harpooned. So now I should be able to pull him through the gate. Okay, the boar is released. Okay. There. Not a problem. Now you have your boar farm. Yes. Okay. You basically use an axe. Yes, it is. Yeah, basically watching the health of the boat deteriorate. Let's bring the hides back. That was the perfect mount. Okay, gonna go get my rest bonus. So I'll reward all you people watching by making you watch an ad. Okay, that's mean. But I'm gonna go grab more iced tea, so I'll be right back. I promise you I'm not missing anything while the ad plays. Okay, I'm back. And what adventure onto now? Actually, what are you up to? Okay, do you want to sleep through the night or? Alright. Red eyes? Is that what you saw? Oh. Yeah, no, occasionally, even when the Grey Dwarves are no longer a threat at all, I have the moment I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's like just the red eyes. Okay, I should not punch my bed. Right. There's not actually a workbench within range. Okay. Let's put away the harpoon. And wait, how many seeds do I have left? 10. I need more seeds. I should have planted some seeds with the last batch. But alright, it's fine. I should actually do an expansion of my farming, but for now this is fine. Go and dig through that swamp. I still haven't found any turnips. There's gotta be turnips somewhere in that swamp. There, okay. Well, I planted what I can. Through it I go. I'd appreciate if you guys stopped hitting me so hard. I suspect that might not work for them well. Ow. I'm running back to the portal, but it's going to be a little bit before I get there. What are you fighting? Okay. What? No, they definitely can break stone. I didn't mean to ever imply they could. But they can't, like, basically they have to break the stone to be able to get over it. I mean, your walls are down, but your walls did their job. Yep. Uh-huh. You are allowed to be salty. I am glad to be of help, but I think this is very much a case of your stone walls did what they needed to do. Let's keep your stuff alive. Because you didn't lose any bees, any boars. Your whole place stayed standing. That's where, while my base is kind of, in a lot of ways, absurdly large, the fact that it is so large means that enemies can't spawn anywhere in that radius. So, my base is pretty good along that road. There's also why my walls are always too thick. Because that way anything attacking it has to go through all of it. This is now basically going to Black Forest, so there will be no turnip seeds this way. Onion seed, or turnip seeds. I don't know why, but in my brain they're onions, not turnips. Because at some point my brain went, yes, the swamp has onions, and that is just the only answer my brain is willing to accept of now. They must be onions. Because my brain said so once. Three dead Surtlings and no Surtling cores? That seems abnormal. I guess the portal's probably going to be a bit further north from here. I didn't mark it, so I actually don't know where it is, but in theory I kind of know where it has to be. Yeah, right there. Do you want some turnip seeds? That right there. Alright. Let's go put some things away, because I realize I'm carrying a lot of shit I do not need to be carrying. Let's grab. I'm sorry, I did not mean for that. Hope I didn't blow anyone's headphones off their ears. Okay, let's build up this way. Oh, I'm glad your ears are alright. What about your house? You want to skip the night? Okay. No, it is I find it easier to work during the day on construction. I don't need the night skipped. This was a Hey, Texas Ginger Girl. How are you doing tonight? doing good over here. Trash is struggling a little bit. Trolls attacked their house and they now have to rebuild. Okay, I'll let Trash know to put up the no troll sign. What, you don't think Shep's suggestion will be helpful? Hey, Farmer Donkey, how's it going? I don't know if you heard the doubts, Shep, but I'll just leave it as there have been some doubts expressed. I'm leaving it as some doubts have been expressed. I mean, yep, I have always known you to be a helpful, Shep, so this does track. Do you want a seed delivery? It is only 4 seeds, but it should be enough to get a garden going. You want me to just plant them? I'm wondering if turnips can be eaten. Yep. Which means now you can breed boars. much iron do I need for iron nails? So I feel like that's actually attainable now. Iron nails are... Okay, where are iron nails? I know I can make iron nails. They only take iron, I'm pretty sure. So if I need 40 iron nails... Or sorry, I need 4 iron nails. I don't need 40, I need 4. Those are different amounts. I'm very good at my math, so I'm quite confident on this. That is the hunt for a 2-star wolf to be able to tame it and have yourself a wolf back is probably one of the most difficult and also most rewarding things I have done in Valheim. You can tame wolves. What do you mean, oh shit? Yeah. It is great. It is also sometimes a struggle, but it is great. Okay, Oh. So you might have to do it. Do you have workbenches really close to your walls? Okay. Because it's just a thing that can help a lot. Because things don't tend to spawn as close then. But if you already have that, then that is not more helpful. What are you talking about? I actually don't know if I have, but I've had raids where like literally I'm sitting there being like, oh, I think I've had a troll raid, and I just sat there and went, are there trolls? Nope, nothing spawned. Actually, it might have spawned. It just spawned into the Black Forest and never came over to my island. I have to say, I am quite happy with how my island has turned out. So it was, I did not feel like doing the struggle of that land. I mean, your current experience has lined up very well with how it was working for me early on. Like, I just like literally went, you know what, no, I've lost everything to trolls enough times that I'm just moving on. I am pretty sure that if you just basically built a perimeter wall farther out and then put workbenches on the inside of that, things just wouldn't spawn. Okay. Oh, yes, the game is Valheim. I'm apparently not reading comments. Yeah. I'm I'm still in the collect rock for my external wall, but also at the same time you helped me collect rock for my external wall, so I feel like I really should help you collect rock for your external wall. Need to build a workbench nearby enough. So let's go do that. I don't actually have a good answer for that. I don't know. Yes, I agree with Shep on this. There's a lot of cool parts of Valheim. The absolute best is very, very simple, and it is the fact that the bees are happy. It's very important that the bees are happy. Also, second to that is Boar loves me. Or, hold on, somewhere. Oh, hold on. Did I murder my boar? Yes. Yes, you will be loved by wolves. That is how that works. Where do you want the stone delivered to? operations. There. That's the correct order of operations. Okay. Time is always confusing. It's just the way it works. I don't have an answer for you. Okay. Yeah. There are none. No, I don't think so. We have not requested their presence with sufficient notice. Yes. They sit on the surface of the water. And they should be possible to grab them without having to go down into your bridge. Don't worry about it. Actually, the solution to your problem may not be another wall. It might be a ditch. Because you can make a ditch that trolls can't walk through. Okay. Okay, it is Friday. My brain is turning to mush. I think it is time to call this stream. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. I hope the me digging stone is riveting and super exciting. I know it's not. It's fine. But I hope you guys all have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. When you watch this, where you watch it. So, take care. We'll catch you next time.